Greetings to all my Century Galaxy, it's the Century Man here, so back again with another episode of the MCU movie review series. So today I'm reviewing the third movie of Phase 3 of the MCU, that is Guardians of the Galaxy 2, or Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This movie was released in May of 2017, I saw it with my friend at the time in cinemas, loved it. A good follow-up to Guardians of the Galaxy 1, I covered that movie months ago on this channel, go and check it out. 2017 for me was a good year for movies for me. You know, I saw Logan, that came out 2 months before Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It was released in March. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was released in May. I like Logan, like Guardians of the Galaxy 2. What movies I saw in 2017? I saw Baywatch, that was The Rock's movie with Zac Efron. I saw it in my birthday at the time. You know, I was turning 23 at the time. Love Baywatch. I saw Spider-Man Homecoming. That was 2 months after Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Loved it. I saw The Kingsman. Yeah, Kingsman 2. That was, I know it's what's it called? The Golden Circle. That was the sequel to The Secret Service. Yeah, I like Kingsman 2. That was in September. I saw Justice League, not the Zack Snyder version, the Joss Whedon version. It was the weakest out of the superhero movies in 2017. And I also saw Star Wars The Last Jedi. I liked it. The two movies I haven't saw was Wonder Woman, because I was not really interested at the time. And it panned out really good. It set up a sequel. Thor Ragnarok, that was in October that year. That was also a good movie. You know, I saw it on TV at the time, same as Wonder Woman. But I didn't really see it in cinemas at the time. Wasn't like interested. So, anyway, so yeah, let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Like I said, it's just a follow up to Guardians of the Galaxy 1. You got the original cast of the first movie: Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Vin Diesel, Bradley Cooper, Dave Bautista, Karen Gillan, Michael Rooker. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. And you also got introduced new characters into this movie. We got Kurt Russell as Ego. We'll talk about his character a little bit shortly. Sylvester Stallone in a cameo. You got Seth Green, who's also appeared in the post-credit scene of Guardians of the Galaxy 1, was also made a cameo in this movie. And I think that's it. And also, this movie was directed by James Gunn, who I think he also directed the first movie. And, I think he did a good job directing these movies. I don't know if he's directing the third movie. I'll get to talking about Guardians 3 later on in this review. So, yeah, this is a good follow-up to the first movie. In the first movie, they're kind of like not on the same page, and they're in the same page. They're fighting Roman the Destroyer. This is months after the events of Guardians of the Galaxy 1 with Ronan and the Orb. Let's talk about the the beginning of the first movie with Ego, played by Kurt Russell, and Quill's mother. I think the actress playing Quill's mother is Laura Haddock. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. So, I like when they're driving toward. They're in Missouri driving, and they made out in some swamp parts in Missouri. Saw this egg. They made out, and that was it. And this is I compare it to the beginning of the first movie of Guardians 1. The difference is I think Guardians 1 was a bit sad because Quill's mother died of the brain tumor. In this beginning scene of Guardians 2, it was more happier, how, basically Quill's mom and dad met, and also they did like special effects on Kurt Russell's face. This took place in 1980. I'm guessing I think right now he's in his 60s. I think he might be at the time in 2017 about I say late 50s, early 60s. So I'm guessing he's got to be in his mid 60s. I think back then, say in the 1980s, probably be in his like 30s. He's way older than Quill's mom. So yeah, I think Ego, he was okay in this movie. I'll give Kurt Russell basically some props portraying this movie. And also we got Palm Clementchet as Mantras, another new character in this movie. I'll get to her character a little bit later on. Anyway, so he did a good job in this movie. He played this manipulative type of character towards Quill. They cram a lot of family, relationship in this movie, with Quill and his father, Gamora with Nebula, the stuff with Drax and Mantis, and what's his name, Yondu and Rocket. The character development in this movie kind of changed for several one or two characters in this film. So, and yeah, Drax is basically the MVP in this movie. I like Drax, his one-liners kind of crack me up, and his laughter is so funny. I give Batista some props to make this character work. The one funny liners for Drax, like, you had basically Gamora said to Drax, "Why are you not pointing Rocket's arrow ring?" And Drax says, "I don't." He said, "I can't because I got, was it senseless nipples?" It's kind of funny. And then also, this is in the final quarters of the movie. He managed to put the it was a rocket pack, but when he put the rocket pack on, it says "my nipples," and I kind of popped. And also, you basically had Rocket and Quill, fighting over the who's driving the ship. Said about like Rocket's gonna put he's gonna he goes Quill's gonna sleeping in turds. Turds stands for shit. And then you got and Rocket says it might not be mine, it might be Drax, and Drax kind of laughed. I got famously huge turds. And also when he talks to Ego about, I think that was a sex joke in this movie. He said to Ego, "Did you make a penis?" And he asked, if your dad's a planet made baby with your mother, he might smush her. He brings up like his dad had sex with his mom. He didn't say sex, and Quill says that's disgusting, but Drax says it's beautiful. And then Ego says, "Yes, Drax, I have a penis." I kind of like like the I like the jokes. I think like some of the jokes are forced, but I think Drax kind of like was the MVP in this movie. And also the stuff with Mantis. Mantis played by Palm Clementchet. Making fun out of her appearance. In reality, Palm Clementchet, who plays Mantis in this movie, she's beautiful. It's makeup to make out she's hideous. She smiles towards Drax, and Drax said, "What are you doing?" And Mantis says, "Smiling." And then Mantis asks Drax, basically pet your puppy. Actually, Raccoon's not a dog. Rocket's a raccoon. And then Drax says yes, and then basically Drax did. I think he was going to bite her, and then she screamed a little bit, and Drax laughed. I go, ha ha. I'm not doing Batista's laugh. I kind of laugh his laughs. That is called a practical joke. And also with the Analyx batteries, and also with the stuff with the beginning with the monster scene in the beginning of the first movie. Not first movie. At the beginning of the second movie, they're fighting the monster. Yeah, Drax went inside of the monster, and Gamora kind of really sliced the monster in half, and then basically Drax says, "Yeah, I single-handed defeat my opponents." He vanquished the monster. I'm trying to say. Sorry, that's why when I review movies, sometimes I don't remember the dialogue that well. But you got Gamora's look that he got that really look. She crossed her arms, and also minutes later in the movie, Mantis's powers, seeing through other people's emotion. Yeah, you see Quill's emotion like he feels love, and then says, well, that's general, that's on selfish love, and then Mantis says no, and that's romantic and sexual, and basically she kind of put it towards Gamora, and you get that Gamora's facial reaction, and then your Drax laughing, she revealed your dark secret, and then when Mantis touched Drax, she laughed, and also, and also, they kind of make, he kind of like brings up like his time he spent time with her daughter. This was after Ronan was gone, because because his motive in the first movie is killing Ronan. Yeah, he didn't bring up Thanos. The only person brought up Thanos is Nebula. We'll get to Nebula character a little bit shortly. So they basically make fun of Mantis's looks. Like, I think one time he called her like an ugly bug lady, and then said about in this like this is and one time talked about like why she basically like ego kind of like raise and own, not really own, but like basically raise Mantis, and they bring up like she doesn't understand pets. People want a cute pet, so why ego wants a pet so hideous, and Mantis says I'm hideous, but in the inside. So, and also and he also minutes later on in his movie, he kind of pretend like he's throwing up. He says, I'm easily breaking down to tell you that you're disgusting, and pretend like he's throwing up. Imagine like imagine like you and I not saying having sex physically. He didn't say the word sex, but it's basically imagine that you and I, you're doing this physically. And also Mantis says, I don't like you type, and then Drax says, there's no need to be personal. Yeah, anyway, so there was family was playing a massive part in this movie. You had like Quill and Ego, because you can tell they kind of confirm Peter has now got powers. He's like imagine like a magical ball, and him and his dad throwing ball, because he never got a childhood, because his dad was never around, his mom died, he got kidnapped by Yondu, and Drax was a fucking dumbass. Said about, I thought this was in the Words in Night scene. I said, and Drax says, I thought Yondu's your father, and Rocket says he's blue, and I think Quill says about for basically with Yondu what he did, like he friends who eat him, beat him up. And also they kind of bring up later on, they were trying to get out Ego, the planet, said about like, if he's not skinny, you almost send him to a maniac. And Yondu said about like, he did what after he did to the other kids. He said, you friend to eat me. And and Yondu says, I was funny, not to me. Some of the one-liners are kind of pop. Yondu, played by Michael Rocca, that was a shock. That was the saddest deaths in the MCU so far. Yeah, and Gamora's death in Infinity War. Yeah, Yondu basically, they kind of give Yondu more character development. Yondu's kind of like, in this movie, was a babyface in this movie. Yeah, I'm trying to, like, I don't know why I'm using wrestling terms, but he's kind of like leaning towards into that good guy status, because he's kind of like a tweener, but he's leaning towards good guy status, because in the first movie he was an asshole, a jackass, and also was it the Ragnars? That's the group Yondu was in, basically turning on him because he's still really sticking up to Quill, because he betrayed him so many times, and this is after the events of Guardians 1, he broke the code. And he said to Rocket, I deserve what I got. I deserve why I'm here. This is what they got captured, because basically, this is in the Words scene. Nebula is kind of like the new leader. Actually, she doesn't really care about being leader. He just want to find Gamora. Wants Ego. kind of shot not Ego, sorry, Yondu's mohawk. So anyways, he kind of died. He said to Rocky, I never did something right, but he did something right, save his yeah. There was one flashback scene in this movie to see like Quill and Yondu shooting. Yeah, I think Yondu raised Quill like he's his own, Star-Lord, because maybe he has kids, behind the scenes, but yeah, he kind of raised Quill like he's his own. He did the right thing. And I think the first movie they had a strained relationship. They kind of fixed their relationship a bit. He said to Quill about Ego. Yeah, he may be your father, but he's not your daddy. And also, they're in middle space, and yeah, his friends got killed by the other Raveners. I think it was Tulip got killed. They blasted him out of space, and he died in space. Same as Yondu. Quill. He said no, 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 no. He's got the spacesuit and Quill's helmet, but I think he just he sacrificed himself for the greater good to protect Quill and get. And the funeral scene was a bit sad but good at the same time. I give Michael Rooker some credit. I like the Yondu character. It's a shame. It's a damn shame we're not gonna see him ever again. Yeah, if he was there in Infinity War, he'll probably get lost in the shovel, but he'll probably appear in Guardians 3. But yeah, he's not there for appearing in multiple movies, so it's the way, I think it was the first good guy death in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, so most of the time it's been bad guys dying. Like they cremate Yondu's body and it shoots out, fireworks. That was good. That was really magical. So yeah, you had this moment with Gamora and Nebula, because Nebula at this point was kind of like a tweener. I'm going to use wrestling terms in movies. It's way better than calling it like, villain and good guy. It's not wrestling, but it's just what it is. I watch a lot of Gray and G.S. Matthews. He's doing the same. I'm doing the same what he's doing. Reviewing Marvel movies and TV shows in the Disney Plus app of Marvel. Anyway, so she's kind of like villain in the first movie. Working with Ronan. In the second movie, in the first half of the movie she was villain, but in the second half she was leaning towards good. You could tell like she was a twinner in the second movie, but by the time in Infinity War and Endgames, she's a full-blown babyface. So, there was the fight scene with her and Gamora was good. The moments like she's like blasting Gamora, in the cave she was riding the ship, in the cave. The ship was about to explode, and then the most cringe-worthy part in this movie, it was Gamora's limbs kind of like was mangled, and you see the cracks. A bit cringy. It went through me, but it's very confusing. But Gamora is a cyborg. It didn't sound like it's mechanical. It's kind of like some like bones coming back to put it back in its socket type of thing, and also trying to strangle Gamora. It'd be really funny if they had Gamora. Nebula said to Gamora any last word, but she's trying to kill her, but instead she didn't let her live. And I'm guessing, I think Gamora saved her life minutes after the movie. Not after the movie, but in the, kind of like in the third portion of the movie. Still in the Ego fight scene, they're trying to kill the brain, the core of Ego, because Ego is a fucking planet, an actual planet. He's kind of god and planet. And also, yeah, Ego's kind of like you can tell he's like going to be the villain anyway. So yeah, this moment with Quill and what's his name, Ego, kind of like throwing like an imaginary ball, teaching him how to teach his powers, and said about like he said about like he shouted towards his dad about I see her dead. You could tell like Ego didn't care about him, and I think Quill's right, And you could tell, like, the one heel thing he said to Quill, it broke my heart. I had to put that tumor in her head. You could tell that's not, like, normal. It's actually not normal to have someone have a tumor in her head. It's not natural. But when Quill had that heartbroken moment in her face, and shots him. It's like, you kill my mother. And also he broke his Walkman because he kind of crushed Quill's Walkman in pieces. And then he brings up, you crushed my Walkman. But in the end of the movie, you got what's it called? Kraglin. He's basically Yondu's right hand man. Give them the zoom. I don't know. It's real life tech. I don't think it's a real life thing. It's basically in movies. I don't know. It's similar to an iPod. I like the arrow. I like the Yondu's arrow. That's a good weapon. He just whistle it and you end up being dead in seconds. And Taserface, man, Jesus Christ, Rocket basically, Rocket's character, he's kind of like still an asshole, but he's kind of like pretending like he's hardest and basically the scariest. Basically, you had Yondu confront him, you're stealing batteries, and also you had, Drax, can't pronounce the batteries, you had Quill says, what are those, your Drax said to Quill, what are those? And then Quill says, was it Analyx batteries? And Drax says, what's it called? Halle batteries, and Quill says, it's nothing I just said. And then he said it again, that these are not what they're called, And also, you give Yondu compliments. He did a lot of reference to Mary Poppins. There were a lot of reference in this movie, like Mary Poppins, and Yondu says, is he cool? And then Quill says, yes, I'm Mary Poppins. And also, there's a David Hasselhoff reference in this movie. When Eagle transformed his form shape as David Hasselhoff. And also you had Gamora said about, remember you told me the story about, what's it? She can't pronounce David Hasselhoff's name right. What's it called? Sandru Hasselfro. He said about, he has a talking boat, that's reference to Knight Rider, that's part, because Quill remembers Knight Rider, that's part of his time, because Baywatch is like 90s, I think Knight Rider's 80s, so, yeah, I think he was around, but he got kidnapped by Yondu, but he never got a chance to see Baywatch. They did a reference to name drop Cheers, and then Gamora says, I don't know what Cheers is, That's another a sitcom in the 80s. They kind of name drop like TV shows in this movie. I kind of like, and also the soundtrack. I like the soundtrack from Guardians 1, then Guardians 2. I like the Mr. Blue Skies. Funny part when you had Star-Lord, Quill, Gamora, Drax fighting this monster. You got and also Rocket also fighting the same monster. You got baby Groot. Basically dancing Mr. Blue Skies, and when Drax broke the radio, he basically smacking Drax because he enjoying that music. I like, and also there's like what's it called Lady was it Short Lake was it Lake Dry Shore? Can't remember. Yeah, I like the soundtrack for the first movie, like Hook on the Feeling. Was it Go and Get Your Love? The Jackson 5, Pina Colada. That's Just Me. A lot of music from Fleetwood Mac, like Brandy, that is was it Looking Glass it's called. And the ending of this movie was Father and Son by Cat Stevens. That was good. He had some good music, but I like the soundtrack from Guardians 1. That's just me. It's a bit of a nitpick. Anyway, so yeah, Baby Groot was funny. People find find him annoying, but I think he's cute and funny in this movie. Like, they're trying to find Yondu's den, and he brings out like a desk, Yondu's underwear, an eye, it's just kind of funny. And also the most funny part was, like Rocket showing Groot the bomb, and told him not to push that button. It's like, the Groot is the baby, Iron Groot, and he keeps pressing it. It's like, no, do not press it. And also you had, Quill's, Rocket once asked Quill, do you have some tape? And it says no, and he's asking everyone where's tape is. I kind of laughed it. It's kind of funny. There's some funny moments in this movie. Yeah, and also family moments. They said like we're not friends, we're family. Anyway, so yeah, they kind of put the difference between Gamora and Nebula. They put that difference aside, and then because Nebula's going to go after Thanos. Yeah, Thanos was not a non-show in this movie. Not like in the post-credit scene. It's just running like near credit scenes with Stan Lee in the cameo. He appeared in the post-credit scene. You got Groot came back as a teenager. Grew as a teenager. He plays on the game that planted the seeds of we won't see him until Infinity War. But no Thanos. We won't see him until Infinity War. That'll be a year later. So it's a disappointing. But yeah, his name was name dropped. So it's really funny that he ended up. She got captured by Thanos in the in Infinity War. So you could tell they hug it out. They you can call them sisters. I know they're not related because Gamora's an alien, Nebula's a cyborg. So anyway, so yeah, and also you got the Suffering. That's the group, the people in gold going after the Guardians because basically Rocket stole some batteries. That's the reason why they're going after the Guardians. Yeah, they're kind of like the third tier. They're kind of like in the sidelines, they got, not say killed, yeah, they got killed in the battle in Ego, and also the post-credit scene, they bring up the name Adam, so I look it up, it's reference of Adam Warlock, so they're hinting that could be the villain for Guardians 3. Sadly, Guardians 3 will be in 2023, and also you had Stallone in two scenes in this movie, he kind of kicked Yondu out of the group. Exile, same thing. And also he paid tribute to Yondu. And also in the post-credit scene, he got his crew. Yeah, you won't see Stallone ever again. After it was a one-time off. I think maybe way back if the film wasn't delayed, because I think the movie was set to 2021. Unfortunately, the stuff with James Gunn getting fired after the events and comments. This was after it'd been weeks since the release of Avengers: Infinity War. James Gunn got fired, and then the whole sort of the COVID pandemic hit of last year. I think Stallone is kind of on interest and also old, so I don't know. I think it's reference to the comics. I don't know. So yeah, I think the Warlocks might be the villain of Guardians 3, but they could change plans. I guarantee this, they are going to change plans. Because they did it with Incredible Hulk with Samuel Stearns. He was supposed to be the leader. With he's growing like this lump. For he's going to be a leader. Unfortunately, they changed plans because the stuff like Edward Norton. Edward Newton left his role as Bruce Banner the Hulk. They changed plans. It could be the same with Guardians 3. He might. I can see the Sovereigns, returning for the third movie. That'll be in 2023. 6 years. I think it was supposed to release of next year. Unfortunately, they pushed it back for 2023. 6 years. It'll be 6 years since Guardians 2. 4 years after Endgame. So I think I covered most of it. I think I covered most of it. The tease like the tease this love interest between Gamora and Quill. Did they kiss in I think they did kiss in Infinity War. I don't know. It's been a long time since I watched Infinity War, so I don't know. But they kind of teased it in Guardians 1. This movie, you can tell they're developing feelings between Quill and Gamora. And it's not going to happen because the Gamora got killed in Infinity War, and the Gamora who was brought back in Endgames was the Gamora from the first movie. So I think it has to do with a contract signing, not a contract signing, but a contract thing with Zoe Saldana, because I think she's commit ties with doing the Avatar sequels. I think they're doing 5 movies. So we've got 2, 3. 4 and 5. Yeah, you got 4 movies, but I said 5 movies, but yeah, they're doing Avatar 2, Avatar 3, Avatar 4, and Avatar 5. Man, it's been a long time. It's been a decade since the first movie. I don't know. I haven't really saw the first movie. I heard it's good, but I think that could be the reason she might return. Zoe Saldana. I don't think she's too old for the role. You know, I check her age. She's 40. She's in her mid 40s. Or actually, early 40s, soon to be mid 40s. So I think by time she was born in 1978. So by time Guardians 3 will be released, she'll be in her mid 40s. You know, she'll be 45 years old. She's not too old for the role. So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. I covered most of it. You know. Yeah, yeah, one funny post-credit scene with Kraglin trying to test out the arrow. He actually shot it towards Drax's neck, and he's not dead. He got, you know, he's fine in this Infinity War. You know, it's not like they're gonna kill off Batista's character off. No, you know, that was just a funny post-credit scene or mid-credit scene, whatever it's called. So yeah, and also what was it the Priceless mention about Quill's dad, you know, or heritage, you know, and Quill says my mom's from Missouri, and my dad's not from Missouri, you know, because no shit, because he's a fucking god, he's a planet. Yeah, but that's it. Yeah, I think I covered most of it. Yeah, it was a fun movie, you know. I think it's a good follow-up to Guardians 1, you know, and it didn't really set up Infinity War, but you know, I don't know, it set up the third movie. But yeah, it's a more of a popcorn entertainment movie. I think it could be the top 3, top 4, even the top 5 best movie of Phase 3 of the MCU. I think 1 or 2 that will be between Infinity War or Endgames. So you know, it's between you know Endgames, Infinity War, or Black Panther. You know. Don't know about Captain Marvel. That's like and also Ragnarok. That will be top 3. So basically between top 5, top 6. So anyway, so that's my review of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button. Click to the notification bell. Subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube for more wrestling videos, Marvel videos, and more. And next time, yeah, we got the next movie of Phase 3 of the MCU. The next movie I'm going to review is Spider-Man Homecoming. Holy shit. Can't wait. So, yeah, like, share, and subscribe. See you next time. So, this is Central Man officially signing out. Check you later.